And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of KSP Career Mode with Dragon Sky. Today we are going to launch our updated Moonbuster, going to the moon. At least that's the theory and the plan. Alright, recheck our crew, and Jebediah, we're going to have to park those three, I think, somewhere outside of the building. Just so they quit trying to sneak in, especially Jeb. He just tries to get in every time. Alright, Sam Gunn, you survived last mission, that's a good thing, so we're going to give you another shot at this. Yeah, because it was his fault, right? Alright, launch to the moon. And we get a little bit of daylight here. Alright, it didn't fall apart yet. Throttle up. Since we have those boosters, we'll probably have to throttle back down here shortly, but we want to clear the launch pad. In 3, 2, 1. Really? Wow, I underestimated that. Straighten back out. Okay, so we're obviously not going to be throttling down that soon. But hey, we are going up at a much better rate and much more straight. I think this might work. Sam Gunn is concerned. Straighten back out. There we go. Close enough anyway. Not picking up as much speed as I would like, but by the time the boosters run out, I believe we'll have burned off enough fuel out of our regular tanks that we will still accelerate somewhat, so I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we should be alright. It is a slow liftoff, which I don't particularly like those, but it's alright. Alright, we're still moving in an upwards fashion. Excuse me. And more or less in the correct trajectory. Yeah, I can't talk today, get out here. Awesome. Alright, we're about ready to drop the boosters. And it'll be the moment of truth, more or less. And right about now. Okay, we are losing speed faster than I had hoped and expected. Dang it. There we go, we're stabilizing on the speed. Okay, we might still be okay. We might be able to do this. Sam Gunn looks about as worried as I am at the moment. Definitely not going to be tilting any more over than we are now because, yeah, current trajectory we are on is not, we don't have enough acceleration more or less yet to be tilting at all, aside from what it did on liftoff. There we go, picking up a touch of speed. That's good news. I'm hoping that's enough electric charge for this trip. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know it did that. yourself. Hey, I can see my house from here. I know, old joke, right? Let's take a look here at what we got going on. 11,000 for our apoapsis. Yeah, we're not doing the best, but we're still going upwards. Let's go ahead and run the, where is it? One of those. If it will let me, that is. Come on. There we go. Log pressure data. Okay, no new. Probably will here shortly as soon as we get out of this thick part of the atmosphere, which is about right now. 13, 16. We're going to tilt just a hair. Start getting some horizontal speed. Okay, try that experiment again. Log pressure data, and nothing new. We might have to save those for when we're coming back in for landing. Okay. Oops. How do we get off there? There we go. Okay, up to 18,000 for an altitude, 25. Okay, we're doing better now. Let's tilt over some more. I think the key here is going to be getting that horizontal speed since we're a little underpowered for our rocket. That's why we're doing probably a little heavier turn for what I would like to do in the atmosphere, but at least with this underpowered of a rocket. But I think that's going to be what saves us if anything does. 24,000, 35, we're doing good. Let's go a little more. We're getting close to being done with our lift stage here. Right about there. And crew report. And nothing for that. Oops. This is what I was grabbing for. That is. Try the pressure data. There we go. Keep it. Oops, forgot to read it though. Oh well. And let's do, I think, one of the temperature sensors here maybe. Oops, if I grab them. There we go. Log temp. Collected and recorded the data. Okay, where are we at? 35, 36,000. Oh yeah, we're doing good. A little more. Those engines are about to cut out. But we're also going to drop a lot of weight. Right about there. There we go. That's staged pretty nicely. Okay. Now I'm hoping that we'll get enough distance out of this stage, the orbital insertion stage, that it can kind of double as our oh, terminology is awesome. Our trip to the moon, basically. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, we're gonna cut our engines here. till we get a little closer to the apoapsis. It'll save us some fuel of having to try and keep pushing through the atmosphere, I think. And this stage isn't really underpowered, I don't think, because we lost all that weight. We should be good. Alright. Excuse me again. Okay, we are almost out of the atmosphere. So I think we're going to go ahead and throttle back up again. Not too bad. Long ways to go yet, though. But I think we're going to be okay. Sam Gun is a lot less worried, I believe. Before he was kind of almost frowning, but he looks like he's doing better. Feeling a little more confident. Let's try a crew report. Nothing on that. Try a thermometer. There we go. Hopefully that's not the same one. The space in your curve, yeah, but it's not. It should be different. So I'll keep that. I'll probably use a goo and Science Junior on the trip to the moon. Get that science from there, and then the last goo and junior will do on the moon. Or we can do it above the moon and on the moon. Probably do that one, actually. I think we'll get more science that way. Okay, we are almost in orbit. And oop, a little bit more. And we're in orbit. Not a particularly pretty one, but we are in orbit. With a decent amount of fuel left to go for the moon. Where is the moon? There we are. Excuse me. Add a maneuver. Not that big of a maneuver. Okay, moon periapsis. Let's slide this around, see what we can get. Actually, it looks like we can. There we go. 89,000. Basically, I want to get it as close as I can get early on. 68. Being finicky. 110. That should be alright. We can adjust it. So let's go with that. Let's find our mark on the ball. This maneuver's pretty good. Oh yeah, we have the reaction wheels on this section. I forgot about that. Glad we do, because otherwise it probably wouldn't turn for worth a damn. And right about there. Estimated burn 44 seconds, and we got 15 minutes to go. So let's speed that up. Hopefully not fly by it. I'll have to readjust because our mark's coming off a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there. And with about 22 seconds, we'll start our burn. Oh yeah, we can see this. Awesome. There we go. That's a little better. And lined up as close as we can. And Start it up. Hold on to your pants, Sam Gun. You're going somewhere. Hopefully, to that spot right there. We got plenty of fuel, actually. It's better than I expected. Maybe not plenty, but we're doing okay. And ready to cut the engines now. And get rid of that. And now we'll just play it by ear here. Moon periapsis, 75. 56. 4. That's not quite as close as I wanted to play it, so we're gonna flip around. Not flop around. Well, we might flop around. I don't know. Sam Gun might flop around. Let's get over to here and bring up that moon apoapsis just a hair. 49. That's a hair more than I wanted. And watch, if we flip around and try it again, watch us end up, plowing into the moon, which would ruin Sam Gun's day, that's for sure. Okay. There we go, 12. I can live with that. Okay, here's our quick save. Now remember, we're not going to use that unless we have some weird stuff happen, so otherwise it's all what happens happens. Okay, let's warp out here. Okay, we should be able to do a crew report from here. And an EVA probably. There we go. Oh yeah, we already did the flyby. I forgot about that. Okay. I believe we already did the EVA too. So let's go on to the moon. And not make it all whacked out. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. And there we go. And we ended up with our 12. Awesome. 12,000 meters. Okay, let's set up for our moon orbital insertion. Maneuver. Okay, yeah, we'll set as target too. Okay. I'm gonna bring this way down. 70. 61. And oof. That should be good right there, I think. Maybe. Let's try this. Move that around just a hair. Yep, that'll work. That's a 49-second burn. I don't think we have that much fuel left in this thing. Yeah, no, we don't. So we're going to have to start that pretty early and finish up with the D orbital engine. But it's going to change our times, so... Alright, let's get closer. 26 minutes. probably going to start it at like a minute and a half, or like now. Or not quite now, because we've got to find our mark. There it is. Yes, I apologize for the darkness. As soon as we unlock lights, I will attempt to remember to put lights on every rocket, just so you guys can see what's going on. Alright, let's fire that up. Okay, we may have enough fuel for that, because that is... Holy cow. Excuse me. It was way off on the time on that. 11,000. Alright, let's hit it a little bit more. And that should be good enough. Now we're going to, we're gonna try and land on the bright side of the moon, because otherwise this video is going to be nothing but darkness. Go past our periapsis. There we go. There. Actually, this is our first orbit, so let's do a crew report. And nothing there. At least I thought this was our first orbit. Let's try an EVA. There we go, 24 science. You have recorded your observations about the situation. And we get 100% from that, so yeah, I keep trying to do that while we're outside the ship. I don't know why. Okay, let's hit a Science Junior. High radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. 16.4 science, keep that. Do a goo. 6.9, keep that. Yeah, we did those before too when we were doing our flyby. That's probably why it isn't really giving us much. Log temperature. There we go. 24 science. And now let's make our orbit so we land where we want to land. Which is preferably on the moon somewhere. Okay. 22. There we go. Let's skip around. So we could shoot for that, we'll shoot for the crater. Let's see if we can do it. Oops, should turn the other way. Now, since we got to use our orbital insertion stage for our lunar transfer, that's the words I was looking for earlier. We have almost full power, or full charge on our batteries, rather. Which is awesome. Bring this down right in the crater. That looks good right there. And do we get to see what we're doing? A little bit. It'll get better as we get closer. Hopefully. Speed that up. We are almost out of fuel in this stage. down. And let's see if I can remember how to do this. Okay, and throttle up just a little bit. Start bringing our orbital speed down. We get a different crew report. Nope. Review stored data. Let's transmit that. Excuse me. And I apologize, this episode is gonna run a little long because I want to make sure we get touched down, or at least crash down, or somehow down. Alright. Let's put our gear down before I forget. It's not like we have to worry about the aerodynamics at this point. Of that, anyway. Again, I apologize for the darkness. There we go, we can see it a little better there. Alright, how far up are we? 10,000. We still got a ways to go. Looks like he doesn't know really what to think about what's going on. Actually, we better really step on the gas here. Because before we know it, we're going to be into the plane otherwise, I think. And I'm thinking we better fire up the other two engines also. Panicked, but I'd still rather not smack into the planet, even though I said it, I was joking. Okay, our speed is down to something manageable. And we are 5,000 meters up. Dropping like a stone. Sam Gunn is smiling though. He feels a little better about his chances. Throttle up just enough to keep our speed from getting nuts again. Guess what? We're still coming down. Alright, 3,000 meters to go, roughly. I think we're doing alright. About ready to drop the engine that was originally intended for the deorbital engine. Just getting close to empty anyway. I can't even see the ground, which is not a good thing. Okay, we better burn off some more speed, I think. almost said it's for sure. So we're going to try and keep our speed under 10. Okay, we still have some major horizontal speed here. So let's try and correct that. With that middle engine. Okay, I'm gaining more speed there. More speed. We are close to the ground. Alright, Sam Gunn, hold it together, man. I really can't see the ground. I really need to. Kind of tell which way we're falling. But at least our speed is a lot slower than it was. That's good. Okay, I can see which way we're moving. Just like that should do it. And hopefully my sticky keys don't go off. Alright. Sorry for the silence there. I was focusing. Trying not to kill our Kerbonaut. Going back up again. Okay, we are on a hill, are we not? We are. Not a bad one now, so let's try it. Oh, I forgot to disconnect those engines. Yeah, we didn't need the landing legs after all. Awesome. Alright. That's too funny. Well, we are here. I think we'll save hopping out for the next episode since we're already over. Other than that, everybody, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Like and comment if you would like to like or comment. And everybody, have a good day. Talk to you later. Thanks.